Welcome to the IoT Podcast Cybersecurity Mini-Series Special. I'm your host, Katie White, Head of Research and Partnerships at the IoT Podcast, powered by 5V Media. Today, I'm joined by Jason Blake, IoT Certification Scheme Manager, IASME Consortium, and Jennifer Williams, Director of IT and Operations at Secarma. In the episode, we get into what the IASME certification is and what this means for organisations, as well as what we can expect for IoT and connected products in 2024.
Hi, Jennifer and Jason. Welcome to the IoT Podcast at the 9th IoT Security Foundation Annual Conference. So to kick off, could you tell us a bit about yourself, your business, what you're involved in?
So I'll go first. I'm Jason Blake. I am the Scheme Manager for the IoT Certification Programme at IASME. I've been in that role for almost a year now. My background was quite varied, from education to civil service, and I've been working in this role. It's given some challenges and sort of some new learning around IoT legislation and lots of other sort of security factors. But conference has been so far pretty good.
So I'm Jen Williams, and the business I work for is called Secarma. We're actually a platinum sponsor of the event today, and I'm one of the assessors for the IASME Certification Scheme for IoT devices. My background as an IT director, I'm also a certified pen tester and ISO 27001 lead auditor. We specialise in helping businesses to become compliant, get certified, but also to look after their wider cybersecurity needs as a business.
And for those who don't know about the IASME certification scheme, could you go into a bit more detail about it, when it was set up, what it's here to do?
So it was originally created in 2020, and it was funded by what was then DCMS. And they gave the funding to IASME to create a scheme that could demonstrate IoT devices could meet the technical requirements from the ETSI standard, the ETSI EN 303645. Since then, the scheme has changed and has learned from the marketplace. One of the things now is it's split into two levels. It's baseline and assurance. At the baseline level, it shows compliance with the new upcoming UK's PSTI legislation. And at the assurance level, it meets all 13. It shows that a device meets all 13 requirements of the ETSI EN 303645. So it gives a full breakdown of how secure that device actually is.
Thank you very much. And so, what innovations have you seen this year, 2023? But also, what lessons have been learned? Obviously, within the IASME certification scheme, I'm sure you've seen many.
Yeah, we have. So Jason and I have had a conversation recently with this. It's a one-man band essentially, who've come up with this really innovative piece of artwork. It's smart artwork that you can hang on your wall. It's absolutely beautiful product, very, very well made, about how we get these really great entrepreneurial businesses in the UK coming up with some really smart ideas, but actually they haven't thought through security, and they haven't thought through, when they take that to market, what kind of, expectations are set on them by consumers and by the PSTI Act. So we're having to almost deliver bad news to them at the end of a project where they're ready to go to market, and they've potentially ploughed their life savings into bringing it to market, and we're having to say, actually, have you thought about the security requirements, and have you thought about the legislation? So we're now trying to, I suppose, we're on a bit of a mission to get these entrepreneurial brains to think about security through the design process and not just at the end, because it's always more expensive and more complicated to retrofit security than it is if you think about it from the beginning.
Yeah, I think, like what you're trying to say, is the innovation is fantastic. People come up with IoT devices now are so cheap and cost effective to put together that they're only limited by people's imagination. And I'll use it as an example. The device Jen was talking about it's a fantastically innovative device, but actually it's about then thinking about how that before you get to market, actually you've got to comply with legislation, and that's the bit that I think some people don't get, because they've, like Jen said, have had a wonderful idea and they've run with that, and actually we end up feeling like we deliver really bad news.
It's
sometimes.
Not just legislation though, it's kind of consumers deserve a secure product. They buy a product thinking that it's great quality and secure, and I think yeah, we see a lot of great quality devices, and maybe they haven't thought about security as well.
Yeah, and it's also like with the consumer, like they're not, aware of all of the certifications that need to happen. They're at the end of the product life cycle. So it's like if you haven't done that, the repercussions for you as a company is like,
Yeah, there's an expectation that when you buy something from a reputable manufacturer, that you're getting a really good, secure product.
One of the other things as well we've seen as well is with other businesses that are maybe bigger businesses, or they've got fantastic, again, quality products, but when you talk to them about the requirements for the legislation, they go, oh yeah, I'm not entirely sure we can meet that. And you say, oh, what's the difference? Oh, well, we still use default passwords. And it's like, that is not a new concept within security in general, to now actually not use a default password, and actually trying to get them to sort of see that from a consumer's perspective. That, again, like you say, you buy a product from a reputable manufacturer through a reputable retailer, the expectation is that device is secure.
yeah, no, definitely. And that leads me quite nicely on to what can we expect in 2024 for IoT security and consumer products?
So the big one for me next year will be the IoT, will be the PSTI legislation, which governs IoT devices. The enforcement action date for that begins on the 29th of April 2024. So any manufacturer, distributor or importer of IoT devices really needs to consider the effects of that. It's not just manufacturers who are liable. If you're a third-party reseller, you need to make sure that device is secure, and you're just as liable as the manufacturer under the legislation. And that's where I think a lot of businesses need to consider that they're compliant with the legislation. I've had conversations with businesses who say, oh yeah, compliance with that, well, it's in our 3 to 5 year plan, or, well, we've got ISO 27001 as a business, that's enough. Well, actually, that's a fantastic thing to have as a business, but actually it's not relevant to the legislation that the UK government are bringing forth.
Yeah, I think it's a hugely growing market, and I think you can see more and more. If you look at the vendors upstairs, there's more and more businesses now focused on testing these devices and helping manufacturers to make sure that they are delivering a quality product. And I think we'll see a lot more vendors entering that space. I think the security services that are on offer to businesses will make it almost impossible for them to ignore it. Because there's loads of help out there. There's security testing experts out there. And I think if you're not engaging with those types of suppliers, all you're doing is letting down your own customers.
Thank you so much for those insights. And this year at the IoT Security Foundation, the theme is around AI, securing IoT in the era of AI. AI has been obviously highly discussed topic. What are your thoughts on securing IoT in the era of AI?
Do you want to take that one, or?
I can do. So yeah, I was going to let you first because I have a slightly more divisive opinion on
Well,
this.
you go your more divisive one, and I'll go a bit more
Okay.
mainstream.
So yeah, I still don't think we're anywhere near enough ready for AI. I think we don't understand it enough, and I think until we do, we can't possibly focus on securing it. I just think we're so kind of early on in that journey that, for me, the dangers to consumers at the minute, when we can't even get the basics right, are absolutely massive. So for me, I think it's it's not the place I'd be focusing at the minute.
I think as well, like AI, you say AI to anybody, artificial intelligence, people automatically jump to films like The Terminator or things like that. But actually, AI has so many great applications for, for embedding into IoT devices and actually making those devices smarter, and actually being able to transmit that data in a more plain text way for people that actually maybe they're not technical, but maybe they can then actually understand what's been said, because the AI has translated it into an easy to understand language for people. I understand where Jen comes from, that actually we don't know enough about it. It's true, we don't know enough about it, but innovation is always pushing for the next great thing, the next big thing. And I think IoT with AI will be one of those defining moments where, a bit like the internet, where actually it changes the way that we work and the way that we see things, because it has the potential to replace or automate so many things that we put a lot of time and effort into now, that actually you know, who knows where we'll be in 20, 30, 40, 50 years' time.
So I quite like there's like two sides. It's
Yeah.
like, well, it can do that, but we need to think about, you know, it's not going to be a quick thing. It's going to be a journey.
Yeah.
But thank you so much, Jason and Jennifer. It's been great to speak with you on the IT podcast today. Where can our audience find out more about you?
So primarily for today, upstairs, so Secarma platinum sponsors of today, or you can visit our website, which is www.secarma.com. We've got a wide range of consultants and experts ready to answer any questions.
And IASME, the IASME website is www.iasme.co.uk. My email address is jason.blake@iasme.co.uk. More than happy to answer any questions or queries with regards to legislation and how the certification journey can assist in making sure those devices are compliant, but actually more than happy to talk to people with regards to the overall impact of IoT and security as well.
Thank you so much.